Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of Bachelor Pad.
Let me just say, I have never felt this uncomfortable, ever.
This was the most disgusting show I've ever watched in my life.
Alright, so let's start off with Gia. She was totally pissed that Nikki voted to keep Kiptyn in the house.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah,
so
last
now,
week.
Gia has this huge target on her back because she was conspiring to get rid of Kiptyn.
Alright, well, this week's competition was disgusting. It was a kissing competition. The best kisser wins. First, the ladies are blindfolded, and the guys got to go kissing on them. Let me just say, there was more tongue on this show than in a Jewish deli.
Yeah, and it wasn't like you were just making out with everyone in the house once. You were making out with everyone in the house twice.
Yeah, Gia's upset, too, because she's got a boyfriend at home. What the F are you doing on this show, stupid?
Mm-hmm.
You don't come on this show with a boyfriend. You should be upset.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was disgusting.
I was very uncomfortable watching this. It was like...
Maybe the most uncomfortable thing was to see Weatherman, because it was like a 5-year-old kid trying to,
No!
lick an ice cream cone or something.
After people were done kissing him, everyone was like...
I think Elizabeth rinsed out her mouth or something in the pool.
She's disgusting anyway.
That's true. Ashley, she had a little class. She eliminated herself from the competition.
She's a high school teacher.
Exactly.
How is she going to face her students after this?
And Gia thought she could muscle her way through the competition with no tongues, but it didn't work out because how exciting is that? They all knew right away that it was you, Lisper. All right, so Natalie would make out with everyone, even the bears, for $20.
Really? It looks like you would make out with everyone for nothing. Because you just did.
All right. The girls were real whores, like we said, except for Gia. Well, and Ashley, because she took herself out of the competition. And when Gia took herself out of the competition, after a few guys, she was all like,
I can't do it!
Yeah. Yeah. Weatherman was in heaven.
He was loving every minute of it.
Too bad the ladies weren't.
No.
All right, so Wes is a germaphobe. That's shocking to me because he was making out with everyone pretty good. And the only time he's not a germaphobe is if he's had a little drinky. But you never know on this show. They could have started drinking very early.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They probably gave them Jack Daniels mouthwash.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right, so the ladies ended up voting for David. And the men chose Payton as the best kissers.
All right, well, it's time for the ladies to go on a date with Dave. He chose quite a rogues gallery of Nikki, Krisily, and Natalie. They're going to Vegas in this broke-to-broke plane. I thought it was a jet at first, but it had props, okay? So what happens in Vegas airs on the Bachelor Pad.
Very true.
It's not going to stay there very long.
So they went to Bear, which is a topless pool.
Why is it when there's ladies' dates, they do some slutty thing, and when it's guys' dates, they do not slutty things? All right, so meanwhile, back at the house, Wes was trying to put the screws to Gia, literally. He was all like, I love you, I'm crazy about
yours.
you. Yeah, exactly. I can't understand him. I don't know if he's for real or not.
I think he is.
That's scary. All right, so Natalie was running around drunk on all the lounge chairs.
She was like a little toddler, pretty much.
Yeah, and then she jumped in the pool and got topless. Whore.
That is messed up. There were still other people around.
Krisily was all pissed because she thought she actually had a shot with Dave.
She was like, during the kissing contest, we had such great chemistry, and I want to see if it's for real.
Honey, there was no shot.
Come on.
Come on. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Dave is looking for a long-term relationship. Longer than 5 minutes, anyway. No. All right, so it's fantasy sweet card time. Can you believe that? They have a fantasy sweet card on this?
Ridiculous.
They were like, yo, only the rose winner is going to have dinner with Dave. You other 2 hoe bags, get back to the house. We can't afford dinner for 4.
So Dave picked Natalie to stay.
For the fantasy suite, a.k.a. the fast-forward slut card. Dave never thought he would be able to find someone in the house. Dave found lust.
All right. How...
What?
I don't know. So, Payton decided she was going to take Jesse Kovacs, Kiptyn, and Jessie B on her date.
Well, Tenley was jealous right away because she's got a tiny little Tinkerbell thing for Kiptyn.
A Tinkerbell crush?
Yes. And she jumped in Kiptyn's bed. Now,
Through, like, this door. Why is there a door from his bed to go outside?
That's a bold move for Cinderella there. And she was denied.
Oh!
Ouch.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. So Payton ended up taking the guys, to Irwindale Drag Strip. And at first I thought, oh, maybe it's a drag bar.
No, it was a little drag racing fun.
Were they going like 5 miles an hour or what?
Like.
It was really sad. And then they had dinner at the Roach Coach, but they topped it off with some champagne.
How classy.
Classy is right. Kiptyn's not with Tenley.
Right.
He doesn't want anyone to know he is anyway, even though he kicked her out of bed. She wasn't even eating any crackers.
So back at the house, Elizabeth is so upset because Jesse Kovacs is a man after all.
And men can be tempted so easily by women. They just can't help that kind of thing. They're just men.
If he's a loser.
Yeah, all right. So Payton really likes Jessie B. He's dreamy. She gives him the rose. I bet he doesn't even know how to spell or anything. That's sexy.
Yeah.
All
so the fantasy suite was back at the house, and they decided, let's do it.
Yeah, that was kind of cheap that they had the fantasy suite back at the house.
Yeah.
Elizabeth has ruined everything for Kovacs. He's pretty pissed.
He's really upset about it.
He never should have come into the house as a couple with her. She's a loser. All right, he's disgusted. Now let's talk about Wes and Gia. Gia thinks he's amazing.
He knows how to play that one song on the guitar.
Really well. I'm glad, too, because he's been playing it for like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Melissa knows it quite well. All right, so can you not write another song? Or like at least cover one, learn one? And he's not a boy. He's a full-grown man.
Yeah.
And he is certainly not a modern-day Shakespeare.
He's modern-day Shakespeare. That's what she said.
She's confused in more than one way. So Gia ends up going to Kiptyn on Wes's advice to try and get her to stay in the house.
Yeah.
Do you really, really, really think Kiptyn's going to keep you in the house after you were the only one who was, like, campaigning?
You were campaigning to get rid of him.
You are delusional. Absolutely.
So then after half an hour of voting...
They really dragged that voting out.
For the women, it came down to Gia and Elizabeth, and for the men, Weatherman and Kovacs.
All right, so for the ladies, it ended up being a tie, actually. So
Intense.
Dave is the rose holder, so he gets to break the tie. And he chose Elizabeth. Bad choice, Dave.
Yeah.
So it's a little interesting here because if Gia had stayed, she totally would have broke up with her boyfriend and taken off with the modern-day Shakespeare.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right, now for the guys, Weatherman versus Kovacs. Weatherman's out. It probably wasn't even close.
Yeah, he came into this house looking for money and maybe some love.
And he left without either one.
Oh, Weatherman.
I know. Go have an ice cream cone. All right, so next week, it's the truth game. Can they handle the truth?
I don't know.
I don't think I can. Till next week, much love.